Good evening, good afternoon, and good morning, ladies and gentlemen, to Global Impromptu Speaking session number 163. Thank you so much for joining in today and helping us achieve another success at Global Impromptu Speaking session. Really appreciate a big hand for each one of you. In this session, you will be speaking for 1 to 2 minutes, and you need to manage your time with estimate. Speak at least one for 1 minute and more than maximum 2 minutes and 30 seconds. You manage by yourself. It's okay if something prolongs, not a big deal. If you are not able to connect with your thoughts, it's completely all right. At least you are better than the person who has not tried. So for that reason, I salute you all. At least you are there to favor yourself. Give yourself another chance to improve, become a better communication or a public speaker. Public speaker does not mean you have to gather public and speak in front of them. Every day you have people around you for your grocery, for your family convincing, for other things. These are all people. So it's all right. At least every day we are empowering ourselves. For the rest of the session, you will be just quietly listening other people's thought. That means you concern for other people as well. You give them respect. And that respect, believe or not, I watch for that. It will come back with multiplication. So stay positive, stay tuned. And now today, our host, our topics master is a very young. I don't know she's a Toastmaster or not. She's not a Toastmaster for sure. She's not a Cavalier even, but she is our bright future star. I'm sure she will lead us tomorrow. And I always love youngsters when they come up and they accept challenges, because nowadays our youngsters are very shy in terms of you know uh, connecting with social gatherings. They want to keep themselves all alone with games, but this girl will lead us, inshallah. And if you need any help from my side, I'm always there to support you, Simriti. Today, let's see what you have got in your mind to ask us. With that,
Thank
let's put our
you.
hands together to welcome her with thunderous round of applause and support her as much as you can. Ladies and gentlemen, a big hand for Smriti. Smriti, podium is yours.
Thank you, DTM Amjad Ali sir, for the great introduction. I'd like to welcome everyone to our table topic session today. And I'd also like to tell you that I don't have a theme for today. And these are pretty random questions, but I think they're easy. So, yeah. And now let the session begin. So, first of all, I'd like to call upon the stage PM Puneet.
Yes, topics master Samriddhi.
So the question for you is, if someone could tell you the exact day and time you're going to die, would you want them to tell you? If someone could tell you the exact day and time you're going to die, would you want them to tell you? TM Puneet.
Most people die at the age of 25, but are buried at the age of 75. Madam Table Topic Master, with regards to this question, if anybody was to come and tell me that if they would tell me the exact date and time, will I actually tell them to tell the date? To which I would honestly say no. I'm not interested in listening to that date and time because let's face it, it's very hard in today's world to actually make and live a life of your own. Let me make it very clear. John Maxwell said it so well that life is a matter of choices, and every choice you make makes you. But too often, I have fallen into this trap of herd mentality because I was brought up in the southern part of India, wherein there are only three career options: engineer, doctor, or failure. And I chose engineering as my career option. I'm grateful for that option though, because I was blessed at least to take that option. But in hindsight, when I look at that decision, it was because I was surrounded by people who were toppers. In fact, I was always given this inspiration stories of people who are toppers, who are science graduate, and I always looked at people who are from commerce background as in a not so good way. How stupid I was. And having said that, I lost then and there. In fact, I almost died because I was allowing somebody else's choices to dictate my life. Do you remember the time when you let someone else take decision of your life? How did you feel? Thankfully, although despite my horrifying, terrible choices in choosing my engineering, I was blessed with amazing colleagues, amazing care, and empathetic parents to be precise, who allowed me to try and fail at different things. I'm really grateful that they told me to live my life, although I did made some serious blunders following others. But at the end of the day, we all learn from mistakes, don't we? So, friends, I would not, I don't want someone else to tell me the time and life which I die, because if I'm not living my day to the fullest, which eventually means I have died that day itself. But of course, life does give us a second chance, so we can always make the best of the next opportunity. Back to you, table topic master.
That was a great speech. Thank you. And now I'd like to call upon Gavilier Sushant.
Am I audible?
Yeah, you're audible and visible.
Yeah.
So the question for you is, if you could travel to any year in a time machine, what year would you choose and why? If you could travel to any year in a time machine, what year would you choose and why? Gavilier Sushant.
Thanks, table topic master. If I had a time machine which I could travel to any year, I would surely travel to the year which I was studying 7th standard because I really had a bad record in my maths. So that I can go back, check my questions, come back, practice well, and then do it once more. So that the record can be a bit changed. Everything doesn't start from the first step, right? Everyone needs to go a bit forward, understand your goal, then get a grab of it. And that's how it is max is for me. Whatever I needed, I love max. It's what I think now, like I'm telling you now, like during this lockdown started, like I had no one with me. My brother was playing with my another friend. You know, age doesn't matter in this lockdown, indeed. So while they were playing, I felt like it was boring a quite bit. So I just thought I just take one of the books. Science was boring. Tamil I could not understand as well. So everything was so much boring except maths. That was the only option left for me to take. So I just thought, okay, fine, let me just take it. When I started reading through the pages, I was able to understand what the book really wanted to tell us. It is not that the book wanted to solve all the problems in it, but it wanted us to understand what the book really wants to say us. It's definitely something very easy, but the only thing is that our max teachers make it difficult to understand. We need to take a minute, understand it, then do it. So that whatever thing may be, we'll be able to understand it so much clearly. You need to say just like physics also to say. Now I feel it bad. Because whenever I take physics, I feel like it's a bit confusing. Though max is a bit involved in there, I understand the max equation except the physics equation. They both are they both are intersecting, and then the teacher says root 3 plus 9. It is equal to 9. How is the root 3 is equal to 9? That doesn't even make sense. So that's what it becomes complicated. But slowly, what I did, just like how I did for maths, I took the physics book, started reading through the pages. I was able to understand why root 3 is equal to 9. That's how everyone does it. It just takes some time, but that time is worth it, really, to say. But still, I won't give up on the idea of going back to 7th standard and changing my question paper. Over to the table topic master.
Time to call Piyush.
Yes, am I audible?
Yeah. Yeah, you're audible. The question
Okay.
for you is, what is one superpower you'd really like to have? And what is one superpower you'd really like to have, TM Pratyush?
One superpower that I will like to have is the power to read people's mind, because that is the most important thing that we all need to learn in our regular lives. Because in our regular lives we come along with various types of people. I am a businessman by profession. If a person comes to me and tells me that he wants to buy something, and he needs credit on that item. If I would be able to read his mind at that time, then I would have understand that whether he is going to pay me or whether he is just going run away, whether the teacher is going to if you have not done the homework. I have seen a movie called Sixth Sense, and I wish that Sixth Sense comes within me. And if it will come within me, I will try to distribute it. I want to know the art of gaining this sixth sense. And when I will come to know about this art, I will tell each and every one of you about that, so that you can also gain this power of sixth sense and read people's mind who are coming in front of you, or who with whom you are going to deal with. And that's the most important.
Thank you, Roman.
Yes,
Yeah,
sorry.
the question for you is, what is one place that you would love to travel to and why? What is one place that you would love to travel to and why? Toastmaster Norman.
Madam Table Topic Master and Global Interference, the where I travel and where I like to place actually in Sri Lanka, place called Trincomalee. You find a natural harbor and sea bathing is safe and very spectacular the town, and also the former one of the Second World War, uh, can say the gun point, and a lot of things to see. And when it comes to the ruling the country by foreigners, they have built a fortress, and you can see the first color light of Sri Lanka in Trincomalee, and also where I was done everything for my the first as my first job as a sailor, and I was doing what you call this sailing in the not the merchant navy, is also Sri Lanka Navy, and the place where I got my all training and working place at Trincomalee. So the most likable place when it comes to the 1 or 2 days holidays when I'm working at Navy, I used to swim in the harbor and also and doing a lot of fun things and swimming up to the where the ships are anchored area. And I can say now still I like to go there and get my memories where I enjoyed my working life and how I build my career from that place. Over to you, Madam Table Topic Master.
Thank you. That was a great speech. I'm honestly touched. Next up is Toastmaster Deepa. Toastmaster Deepa.
Yes, Samriddhi.
Okay, so the topic for you is, what's the one thing you'd like others to remember about you at the end of your life? What's the one thing you'd like others to remember about you at the end of your life? Toastmaster, uh, sorry.
Deepa.
Toastmaster Deepa. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Thank you, Samriddhi. So, I remember reading the book, a book wherein I forget the book name. It's the 7 effective habits of habits of effective people. I don't remember the exact title, so I think you're able to guess what I'm talking about. So he spoke that remember the day you're going to be dead and think about what people are going to speak about you. That should be the basis on how you plan your life. And so I certainly find meaning in that. How would I want to be remembered when I'm gone? I would want to have a legacy that's passed. I don't want to be someone so forgettable that it doesn't really matter if I existed or not. I want to be somebody who served as an example of innocent in spirit, challenge, and the person who's fierce in fighting whenever there's a challenge, and provide a reason for at least a set of people to continue the journey. Let's say there are so many different challenges we share. Some people may have a certain disorder, and if I provide people with a certain disorder, for example, I've been through depression, so if I provide a reason for them to find meaning and to pull through that episode in their lives, I would consider myself the most fortunate. So I certainly believe that I want to be an inspiration to those people who struggle with depression. At least by the time I'm gone, I really want to find a solution to this and provide people more meaning in their lives, more joy in their lives to keep continuing and not to give up in their lives. Over to Samriddhi.
Thank you, Toastmaster Deepa. And sorry for forgetting your name, actually. I was pretty nervous, but that speech of yours was really nice, and I think that made me less nervous. So next up, I'd like to call Toastmaster Neha. Toastmaster Neha. Okay, I think she left. It's fine. Next up, I'd like to call Toastmaster Sunita. Toastmaster Sunita.
Yes, 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 sir.
So the topic for you is, would you rather lose all of your old memories or never be able to make new ones? Would you rather lose all of your old memories or never be able to make new ones? Toastmaster, I'm so sorry for forgetting. Yeah, Sunita.
Thank you, Toastmaster Samriddhi. Good evening to all my impromptu family members. Very thought-provoking question. I have never thought in those lines. Would I like to? I think I would go with keeping my old memories. Even if I can't make new ones, I would rather have the memories that I have made till now because that is what defines me. All the memories, all my past experiences defines the person I am today. And if I have those memories with me, I think I can continue in life. Very easy to speak like that. I don't know how it would be without being able to make new memories. But hopefully, in my case, I have good memories till now. So let it be so. I don't know what the future holds. Maybe there will be bad things happening and there will be bad memories. So I will definitely go with what is there in the past and I will live happily with those memories. And because they have been good, they will allow me to live a good life and continue to be live a fulfilling life. So in my case, I would most definitely live with my memories of the past and I'll be okay with not having memories in the future. God forbid any of this comes true. Over to you, Toastmaster Samriddhi.
Thank you for the kind of humorous speech. And next up, I'd like to call TM Hartika, Toastmaster Hartika. Toastmaster Hartika. I think she's having some network issues. So we'll move on. We'll come back to her. Now we have Toastmaster Sujit. Toastmaster Sujit.
Yes.
So the topic for you is, how would you describe perfection in your own words? How would you describe perfection in your own words, Toastmaster Sujit?
So for me, perfection is something which you are originally, and not something which you're gonna plan or kind of define yourself for. I'm a firm believer of living in the present rather than doing something which kind of distort my personality. I always, whether it's food or whatever, always choose something which is authentic, or something which is something which is genuine. So I won't like to become perfect, because during my corporate career, I always try to be perfect, and that put a lot of pressure on the team. And what it gives back in return, I would say dissatisfaction and some kind of resentment, and people not being comfortable. It takes the personal tone of their life, which I don't want. So what I should aim for and kind of continue with it is the way I am, and all the people the way they are, as it is. Thank you. Over to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you, Toastmaster Jeet. And next up, we have Toastmaster Amjad Ali. Toastmaster
Yes.
Amjad Ali.
Yes, ma'am.
So the question for you is, if you could ask one person, dead or alive, only one question, who would you ask and what would you ask? If you could ask one person, dead or alive, only one question, who would you ask and what would you ask? Toastmaster Amjad Ali.
Thank you so much, Madam Topics Master. If I can ask one question to a person, dead or alive, what question would I ask? I will ask you, everyone, why didn't you try once more? Why did you give up? Trust me, it was just one try, and you would have achieved, you could have achieved, you will achieve. And I mean it. It was sixth time I was failed from my driving license. It was in 2004. I gave up. And one of my colleagues, he came up to me, and I was literally hanging, my face was hanging, dead hanging. And he came to, what happened to you? I know you are failed. That's the reason your face is like this. I said, I don't want to continue anymore. I don't want to drive anymore. He smiled. He just took a pause. He sat with me. He had nothing to do with my driving license. But he sat with me, said, one try for me, please. And I smiled. I gave that try. In next few weeks, I got the license. He said, what did I say? It's okay. This is what life is all about. We are just one try away, ladies and gentlemen. And that changed my life. And wherever I went after that, I made sure I remember that thought. I remember that belief, and I did not give up. I tried one more time and I achieved. I was better than the previous try. If I was not as I perceived, but I was quite better than the previous try. So I will ask you whether you are dead or alive. It's your thought, it's your belief, because many of us are actually dead. We are breathing, but we are mentally dead. Please, one try for me, and I know you will be the happiest person on this planet. Thank you so much. Best wishes.
Thank you for the amazing speech. It had me awestruck. And next up, I'd like to call Toastmaster Noman.
Yes, am I audible?
Yes, you're quite audible, but your voice is kind of low.
Yes, I'll try my level best.
So your question is, if you could take a single photograph of your life, would it look like? If you could take a single photograph of your life, what would it look like? Toastmaster Noman.
Ma'am, can you make it a little more easy for me? I think I haven't got
Uh,
your exactly what
okay,
you
okay.
want.
Sure. Would you rather be immortal or be born an infinite number of times? Would you rather be immortal or be born an infinite number of times? Toastmaster Noman.
I think, ma'am, first one was okay. This is much difficult.
Okay. Should I repeat the first question for you, or do you want another question?
I think I will go with the first one.
Okay, so I'd repeat it for you. If you could take a single photograph of your life, what would it look like, Toastmaster Noman?
Thank you so much for giving me this such a wonderful topic. Still, I haven't gotten, but I will try my level best to give my opinion on it. So, if I would take my picture from my life, which I have passed or spent, so I would love to take my pic from my first class, in which that I had done so many things which nobody can expect from a small kid. So I have remembered that I used to go to school, and I used to write on the copy, and sir used to tell me that you have to write on the hardboard, and why you are writing on the copy. So I used to say my sister that sir is forcing me to write on the hardboard, though I would love to write on the copy. So I think this was the time I would love to have next time or second time in my life. So these are the small things, these are the small players that a man who never forgets in his entire life. Back to you, table topic master.
I don't think you quite got the meaning of the topic, but I think that your opinion was quite great, and that made up for that made up for the mistake. It's fine. And next up, Toastmaster Indu.
Yes, I am here.
Okay. So the question for you is, if you had a chance to become an object, which object will you be? If you had a chance to become an object, which object will you be? Toastmaster Indu.
Okay. So good evening, fellow Toastmasters and the global impromptu family. So if I had a chance to become an object, which object would that be? Um, so I think I would be a flying object like a drone or something, where which will allow me to fly wherever I want, whenever I want. There are no time zones, and I can, since I love to travel and I love to see different places, nature, and animals and wildlife. So this will give me the opportunity to go uh, to a lot many places and experience life. And I also like to observe people, doing things. So this will give me a chance to quietly be on top and maybe watch people eating and what are they eating and how are they eating it, and also listen to the conversations and who is complaining, who is making fun of whom, and just most importantly, visit all my relatives and quietly just observe them, what are they up to now and what do they really think of my family. uh, so yeah, all these things. So I think, I mean, I would be really lucky if I get a chance to be that object, be the role, and make the most of it. I will surely seize every opportunity to uh, live life fully and do whatever I want and see whatever I want. So thank you so much for the topic. Over to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you for your amazing speech. That was quite relatable for me because I also wanted to be an object that was able to fly. So next up, I'd like to call Toastmaster Samuel. Toastmaster Samuel.
Thank you.
Yeah. So the topic for you is, what is the closest you have ever come to fearing for your life? What is the closest you have ever come to fearing for your life, Toastmaster Samuel?
I'm not sure whether it is a subject of bad taste, but when I was in the army more than 40 years ago, I'm 65 this year. When I was in the army, I really met an evil spirit. I fought with the evil spirit for 1.5 hours in the middle of the night. I shall not discuss, I will not go into the details. But what I know is that I challenged that evil spirit. I told my friends, and I said, I want to be the guard. I want to sleep on that bed because that bed was well known for the spirit. And I don't believe in evil spirit at that time. And I chose to challenge that spirit, and it came for me. All I want to say is, number one, do good to other people. Number two, whether there is an evil spirit or not, do not challenge it. Number three, when your heart is at peace, you will not be disturbed. For me as a Christian, when that evil spirit tried to strangle me, I prayed in the name of Jesus, I command you to leave. And the spirit left. So that was longest at that time when I was 18 years old. Over the years, what I do fear. I fear people saying bad things about us when it's not real. I fear people do not have the courage to stand up for the truth and justice. I fear that whatever we see, whatever we feel, we keep it to ourselves. Whatever goodness, we keep it to self instead of sharing with others. Will you share the goodness with other people in Toastmasters? Thank you.
Thank you. That was an amazing speech. And to be honest, I'm quite awestruck. And next up, I'd like to call Toastmaster Savita. Toastmaster Savita.
Yes, Cavalier Samriddhi.
So the topic for you is, what job would you never do, no matter how much it paid? What job would you never do, no matter how much it paid? Toastmaster Savita.
Thank you, Cavalier Samriddhi, and my greetings to everyone present here. Never thought about this topic, but let me just, whatever impromptu comes in my mind, I will just say, whether it is correct or wrong, I don't know. Some jobs which you never feel like doing. I am a type who doesn't believe in, violence, like kind and soft nature. So job like, which I will never do, like something in like butchery job. I will never do that in my life. Because I believe I'm a Hinsawadi, non-violent type. So I don't like, I'm vegetarian also. So I don't like somebody, somebody is cutting in front of me, anything, on killing somebody. Even though my family has everything they eat, I don't mind somebody, but myself, I don't like. So that part of the work, whatever somebody pays, I would never like to do. I feel as if, as if I'm cutting myself. I get that feeling. I feel the same consciousness is there in the other person or other living beings. So that the consciousness doesn't allow me to think only in that direction. So that type of job I will never do, even though I have to die hungry. That is my take on that. Back to you, Cavalier Samriddhi. Good question. Never thought about this. Thank you.
Thank you. And I think I can agree on that topic quite strongly. Toastmaster Naveed. Toastmaster Naveed.
Yes, table topic master. Am I audible?
Yeah, you're audible and visible. So my topic for you is, would you rather never experience happiness again or steal people's happiness? Would you rather never experience happiness again or steal people's happiness? Toastmaster Naveed.
Well, thank you very much, table topic master. Would you never, sorry, would you not ever, sorry, can you repeat it?
Yeah, sure. I'd love to repeat. Would you rather never experience happiness again or steal people's happiness? Would you rather never experience happiness again or steal people's happiness?
Well, I think I have to choose from both of these. I will not steal anyone's happiness, but actually I will try to make people happy. And it is I learned that making people happy is the best job in the world. And when someone is I heard the Jim Carrey, he is the comedian. He actually tries to make people happy, but sometimes even the happiest people are sad in their hearts. They try to make other people happy so that they feel happy, so that they can feel happy. Sometimes in the world, you have the job to make others people happy so that you become happy. Because I have learned that the person you are, you have the responsibility of anything you are born for. You have the responsibility for doing something you are born for. Means that you have a purpose of life. I heard from one person that the fan which is on and it is working, it means that it is usable. And like this is the pen, when it is working, it is usable. And when it is not working, people will throw in the dustbin. So if you are working and making people happy and doing something that contribute in life, then you will be usable for the whole world and people will get benefit from you. So making people happy is as good as doing good for you as well as for others. So make people happy, don't steal their happiness, and do good. Thank you very much.
Thank you for the awesome speech. I think I can agree on that because I thought that I should take that option too if someone ever asked me that question. So now, next up, we have Toastmaster Jaya.
Yeah, a very good evening, Samrati.
Good evening to you too. So the topic for you is, would you rather experience excruciating physical pain for the rest of your life or experience mental pain for the rest of your life? Would you rather experience excruciating physical pain for the rest of your life or experience mental pain for the rest of your life? Toastmaster Jaya.
Yeah, thank you so much for this topic. A very good evening to all the Toastmaster and your guests. Um, I think both, because who would not like to, uh, you know, um, experience physical or mental? None of us, right? I mean, physical, if we had physical pain, one cannot bear it at all. For example, hand. How will you use your hand? You'll feel bad seeing others having hand to work with and you know, or legs. And on the other hand, a mental pain, which is not good, depression, it doesn't leave you, right? You get sleepless nights. You can't get through. We stay up late, which is not good for our health, and we turn to spirituality to take away all that physical or mental pain. I'm sure none of us want to go through that, either physical or mental. And I pray that none of us should. Over to you.
Thank you for the amazing speech. Next up, I'd like to call Toastmaster Jyoti. Toastmaster Jyoti.
Hi, am I audible?
Yeah, you're audible and you're visible.
Thank you.
So next up, I'd like to call. So I'd like to give you the question. If you could write a letter to your future self, what will you be asking / telling them? If you could write a letter to your future self, what will you be asking or telling them? Toastmaster Jyoti.
Thank you, Toastmaster Samruddhi. If I have to write a letter to my future self, but I'm gonna tell one thing, one and only one thing, and that would be please don't stress out yourself for trivial matters. After all, you get to live only once, so why worry so much about things like that? No, whether it's professional or personal, eventually everything's gonna all right. Everything will turn out all right. So stop getting irritated, frustrated for small things. So don't fret yourself for small things. Take each day, one day at a time. Focus on things that needs to be focused, and everything will be all right. So that's it. That's what I'm gonna tell myself. Thank you.
Thank you. And next up, I'd like to call Toastmaster Prashant.
Yes, Samriddhi.
Yeah. So the topic for you is, if you had to describe your childhood in a sentence, what would it be? If you had to describe your childhood in a sentence, what would it be? Toastmaster Prashant.
Thank you, topic master, and greetings to all my impromptu friends. So thanks, Samriddhi, for just reminding my childhood. If I talk, actually speaking, the words cannot describe anyone's childhood. But, or if we talk about even sentence, I think there is no sentence. The way we lived our childhoods and enjoyed our childhood. So there's not a single sentence is to describe one's childhood. But if I think about myself, then I think it should be a loved, happy, and curious and fearless child for myself. So as you know, Bino, so as a child, you are getting and feeling loved by everyone without any second thought. Even today, we think a small child, without thinking our other thoughts, we are going to catch him, we are trying to adore him. The same way as we grow, I'm feeling this loved. No one actually, everyone in the materialistic area, everyone thinking you from very different perspective. So again, if you think about my childhood, that I loved, again, the lovely child. And if we talk about my fearless, that's the thing. When even sometimes as we grow, we create boundary in our life. And as a child, we are limitless. If we want to go anywhere, there is no fear to fall down. There's no fear to go anywhere in the world. So that's, and if we talk about the curiosity and city that have, that curiosity again I want to gain. So that's why I know the whatever I can get the knowledge which actually they're due to boundary I'm not able to get nowadays. So that's all about, you know, that's a sentence. And I love to again go in my childhood and just see this, how again this will work for me. Over to you, topic master Samriddhi. Thank you.
Thank you. And next up, I think this is the last contestant, Toastmaster Hartika. Toastmaster Hartika. Also, a reminder, if I did not call out your name, please tell me in the chat box. And yeah, again, Toastmaster Hartika.
Hartika.
So the question for you will be, what's the weirdest dream you've ever had? What's the weirdest dream you've ever had, Hartika, Toastmaster Hartika?
Okay, thank you, Table Topic Master, for that thought-provoking topics that you have. The weirdest dream I had. So the weirdest dream I had was that when I was in college days, I was in college and I used to live in PG because I used to stay away from my home. And one day I realized at night in my dream that I won't be able to ever go home. Being a person who is homesick, I realized I won't be able to survive. And in that dream, I also saw that I won't be able to go home because there will be curfew in the city, and it was like before the COVID days happened. I was staying in Delhi and I'm from Haryana, so that was the weirdest dream because I realized I am a homesick person. If I have to stay here, I won't be able to live for more than 7 days because I used to come home after home every 5th day. So yes, that was the weirdest dream I got. And next day, what I did, I caught the train and I got the train and came home without even thinking about what was going to happen there. And it also happened that 4 or 5 days later, lockdown happened in India in last March. So yes, that was the weirdest dream, and that actually came true. If I was staying in my PG, then I would not have been able to come home for like 3 or 4 months. So that weirdest dream made me realize that I have to move, and it saved my life too. Thank you. Over to you, Madam Table Topic Master.
Thank you for the speech. And now I think almost everyone is done. If I have not called out someone's name, please tell me in the chat box. I think I'm done with everyone. So with that being said, I think someone needs to give me a topic now, which I'm kind of nervous for.
Wow.
Should I
See,
give?
she's ready. She's asking herself.
Should I give
Okay,
you topic?
yes, Smita ma'am.
Yeah,
Smita
sure.
ma'am, yes, please go ahead.
Samriddhi,
Thank
you are a student, you're a science student. You're learning science. Topic for you is, we know sun is stationary. Then why do we call sunrise and sunset? We know sun is stationary, then why do we call sunrise and sunset? Over to you.
Thank you for such an amazing question. Well, you actually hit my weak spot because I'm bad at science. But I guess I'll try to answer that question. Well, I guess we call it sunrise and sunset because that's been a thing before we even got to know that Earth is the thing that actually rotates. in the earlier times, I think most of the people used to think that sun is the thing which actually, sun is the star which actually revolves around the earth. And they used to think that when it's coming up, it's rising, and when it's going down, it's setting, because of which it has always been sunrise and sunsets. And to be honest, I'd also like to ask this question to the new scientists, because why are they still following the medieval time questions, medieval time terms? But I guess that's my answer on that. Thank you.
Good attempt. Back to you, Amjad.
Thank you so much, Vita ma'am, for putting her in trouble. Can we all give Samriddhi a big hand for her maiden attempt? And it was amazing, isn't it? If you think she has done this job wonderfully, please give her a thumbs up. Yay! There are 2 thumbs up coming up from the people.
Bravo, bravo.
Appreciate. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. With that, let's conclude the session. Samriddhi, you have done a wonderful job. You actually won our hearts with your topics, the way you speak, the way you're participating now. You become regular actually at this platform. Ladies and gentlemen, with that power vested in me as a host of this meeting, I adjourn the meeting. Thank you so much. Stay blessed.